What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So here comes that shot of Quinton Beastwood that we see once in a blue moon from him, especially this close to the show. And since all of us were talking about this and actually were concerned how his back is gonna look like at this upcoming Tampa Pro. So I must say this won't be the best back in this upcoming Tampa Pro show. I believe the back of John De La Rosa, that is very complete top to bottom, very thick and very dense, and same is the case with John Jewett too. But I must say Quinton has actually done a superb job in terms of maintaining as much muscle as he possibly can, while getting shredded, while getting lean, and his back is also looking thicker compared to previous years. Now one thing is guaranteed, that Quinton is gonna be the heaviest guy on this upcoming Tampa Pro stage, and easily the widest too. I mean, that is one of his biggest strengths. He takes up so much space on the stage, and that is why he always stands out. Now he isn't among the list of those past Olympians who are gonna be there in Tampa Pro this weekend. But some people out there just forget that Quinton was able to find his stride at Toronto Pro last year. And guess whom did he beat at that show? John Jewett, who is among the most shredded guys in the men's open class right now. And if it wasn't for Quinton's very long prep last year for the New York Pro then Toronto Pro, he would have probably won his first pro show and also his first ever Olympia qualification last year. Now if we take a look back at all of Quinton's past contest history, especially the prep, he has never actually struggled to come in shredded and absolutely ripped to the bone. It has always been the inability to maintain the muscle mass, the pop and the wow factor as he gets deeper and deeper into the prep. So this will be a very exciting show for Quinton. And just for the information, many experts out there, including some of the biggest names in the industry who are currently active IFBB pros, they rate his physique very high. Some as high as Samson Dawa and Andrew Jacked, especially if he fills out his frame, which I must say so far he has been unable to do. But let me know what you guys think. Can Quinton win this upcoming Tampa Pro? Before you scroll or blink too hard, have you subscribed yet? Please don't make me bring out the emotional blackmail. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. It's free, it's painless, and that makes me look way cooler than I actually am. Next up, we have an 8 weeks old physique update from Mohmmad Nsour. So he will most likely be doing Europa Pro, which is happening in Germany about 2 to 3 weeks before the Olympia this year. And that was actually also the last show that he did back in 2024. And for those of you guys who do not know, he's actually a former Olympian who made his Olympia debut back in 2022. And I'm pretty sure when people debate about the current IFBB pros with the most amazing biceps, they tend to forget about Mohmmad Nsour. He has one of the most amazing looking biceps in the entire men's open bodybuilding. Massive peaks with such full muscle bellies. And he also has this ability to get super dry and come in absolutely ripped in almost every single show that he does. So the main problem with his physique, or his main weakness, is that he lacks that shoulder width. And on top of that, he doesn't have those sweeping kind of quads. So in turn, he doesn't have that X-frame or a very impressive V-taper. But he has been working tirelessly to put on more muscle and more mass on his frame. And if Mohmmad can somehow show up with thicker lats, that is gonna change the entire flow of his physique, especially in those front shots. So I left out one most important part about this amazing athlete. He's also a medical doctor, and to have such a degree along with being one of the best bodybuilders in the world, that is something very unique. So the reason some of these former Olympians who have qualified for the Olympia in the past, and that too by winning a pro show, and the reason they aren't even placing top 3 is because the competition that gets tougher and tougher with every passing year, and especially this year when we saw the prize money going up so much, and that made some of the top competitors do multiple shows this year. And that is one of the major reasons why we have such deep lineups for this upcoming Texas Pro and Tampa Pro. And I must say, if the prize money that keeps on going up, then it's gonna get harder and harder for all of these guys to get to the Olympia stage again. Next up, we have an update from our reigning Olympia champion Samson Dawa. So is Samson the first guy ever to weigh 300 plus pounds and doing those pull-ups? Well, if you think about this, it's so damn insane And this is one of those old school exercises that we do not see many pros doing in this day and age. But that right there is some insane strength from Samson Dawa. So he's training in a very controlled environment. This time he owns his own gym, which some people think can be a game changer for this upcoming Mr. Olympia. But we have to keep in mind, he did win the Olympia last year, training in a public gym. So for Samson Dawa, it's all about carrying this momentum and suffer more than ever before to bring out more detail and bring a level of conditioning that we have never seen from him before. Something that the judges and the fans want to see on him. The kind of detail that guys like Derek, Hiati and the Mutant has. Or maybe something close to that. Now we have to keep in mind, we haven't seen the best of Samson Dawa just yet. And this time the man is 100% logged in since he got done with that 10 weeks break after the Arnold Ohio this year. And that is why we saw him reaching 325 pounds. And that too in such an amazing shape, with such amazing body composition. So the fact is, size isn't something that is gonna win Samson Dawa another Olympia title. He also knows that pretty damn well. The fact is, the man is so damn big compared to his competition, except maybe in the upper back, that even if he loses some size at the expense of better conditioning, more detail and deeper lines, he will still have the size advantage over all the other top 4 guys, namely Derek, Hiati and the Mutant. Now Samson looked very hot and dry at the Olympia last year. Plus, both Hiati and Derek, they kind of missed their mark. They were not at their 100%. And if all of these guys, they show up at their best and Samson beats them all still, that is gonna really solidify him and also his legacy as a very strong Olympia champion. Sazan Hiati is gonna be one of those guys making their Olympia debuts this year. And this is what is called taking the maximum advantage of that rebound phase, as the man is up 30 pounds since his last show which he won in Spain. So what a great year so far for Sazan Hiati. He added 2 pro wins to his resume, and what makes his story so unique is that he got totally disconnected with professional bodybuilding from 2018 onwards. He then made his comeback last year. He did the Emperor Classic Spain, and that was as a test to see where he's at in comparison to the pros of the current times. And then he went through a productive off-season, and the rest is history. So this is that same amazing guy who got so close to beating Andrew Jack at FIBA Germany, where he was beating Andrew at the prejudging. So Sazan not only won 2 pro shows this year, but he also had 3 second place finishes this year. So that makes him one of the most consistent bodybuilders of this entire season. So he's entering this year's Olympia with very high expectations. But if we look at it, he did beat Regan Grimes, Sergio Oliva Jr., and he came very close to beating Andrew Jack, and he also compared very well against William Bonac. So if Regan is aiming to place top 6, Sazan can definitely aim for a top 10 finish. He brings that top level conditioning. The midsection is one of the best out there. So the one thing that needs to improve, that is his back, especially the width. Next up, we have an off-season physique update from Wesley Vasers. Easily the heaviest guy right now in classic physique division, and is about to go even beyond the heaviest point of his pro career since the man decided to take this year totally off. So he has no plans of competing anytime soon. And Wesley kind of finds himself in a bit of trouble. He has a very stubborn body part, which are his legs, and on top of that, he has a weight cap hanging over his head. So he has no room to grow, to put on more muscle, as the man is already maxed out. So him placing 5th in his first ever title defense for this year's Arnold, that wasn't that big of a concern because he got very sick during that prep. But the judges still preferring Matt Gregor's physique over him at Detroit Pro, where he showed up at his all-time best. That was a worrying point for him. So Matt is a guy who beat him twice in a span of a few weeks. And we all know if the rest of the competition that continues to get better and better, continues to improve, Wesley might find it very difficult even staying in that Olympia top 10, unless somehow he shows up with much bigger quads front to back. And if he can do that, then sky is the limit for him, since the man has those very round and incredibly 3D looking muscle bellies up top. He comes in absolutely ripped, and the kind of lines and the separation that he has, no one else has that. And the man poses like a true classic guy And I know some of you are gonna say that he has a wide waistline. And yes, that is true. His waist isn't the smallest, especially in comparison to the other guys in that division. But that being said, more sweeping quads and more volume on the legs, that will allow him to create a better illusion of having a V-taper and an X-frame. Now Wesley said he won't step on the stage again unless he's absolutely sure that some big improvements have been made, especially in his lower half. So this is certainly gonna be a challenge. So what are your expectations from Wesley Vasers? Also hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.